This week we made some major progress on our kitchen. We've been using our kitchen for a few months now and it's been amazing, and I didn't put up wall cabinets yet because I kind of wanted to see how I use the space. And so we're going to get started on wall cabinets and kind of get a feel for what's kind of migrating where and where the spices are going, where the cups are going. And the coffee is really migrated here, and this has been amazing. So you can fill the coffee pot up. It's one of my favorite things about this kitchen. But one of the big issues is we don't have anywhere to store cups over here. So I'm going to start tackling the wall cabinets in the kitchen. So we had some leftover 3/4 inch plywood from Grace's barn doors. So I'm going to use those scraps to make the kitchen wall cabinets. Mike has been doing a good job on this kitchen cabinet. He just took a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood, and this is a maple, right? Yeah. Paint grade is what I call it. And just ripped it into 11 and 3/4 inch wide strips that are 8 feet long, and then just treated those like boards. So we're just making a big box basically with dividers, and then we'll put a pretty 1x2 face frame on the front and add some doors, and we are done. We got one wall cabinet hung up and done. We still need to add the doors for it. But I didn't want it all to be wall cabinets. I felt like that might feel claustrophobic and not as open. So on this wall here, it also would be kind of weird to work around this beam. If I was to like build another cabinet here, you know, I didn't want to do that. So I'm thinking about just putting open shelving here. So we've designated this area as the baking counter. That's why it's lower, so you can kind of see inside your mixer as you're working. It's easier to roll out a pie crust. And it's easier to mix because you got something lower. So I want to add a bunch of baking jars and really just make this a cute corner where you really want to be and you feel like baking. What I've got here is a 1x8 board that's 4 feet long, a 1x6 board that's 4 feet long, and I've got some end pieces that are cut to this length here, so they'll cover right there on the end. So the way that I'm going to assemble this is use a pocket hole jig, and you can also use a different type of joinery method. I just happen to prefer this for the strength, and I drilled pocket holes every 8 inches along the back side. These will be completely hidden by the wall, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach it. So I'm going to start the board with the pocket holes drilled in it, just slightly proud of the board that we're attaching it to, because when the pocket hole screw goes fully in, it will pull it in more. So, if you're real picky, you could clamp this, but I don't think I need to. Now I've made a lot of shelves where I'll just add like a 1x2 along the front and make a lip here, but those are great shelves. I love them, don't get me wrong, but the problem with them is there's nothing tying in the sides, so you can't put as much weight on them. And since this is a kitchen shelf, we may load it up with like flours and cooking oils and spices, things that are real heavy cookbooks. I want it to be really strong. So by adding the 1x to the ends, that supports the bottom and ties it into the back. So, but since this 1x is going to be exposed on the ends, instead of using screws, I'm just going to glue and nail it. So I've got my Airstrike cordless nailer, and it works with the same battery as all my drills. It's a pretty sweet tool. And I've got 1¼ inch brad nails that fit it. It's an 18 gauge. And you want to be real straight when you put this magazine in. And I'm going to find some glue and get this attached. All right. right, I got my shelf all built, and what's really nice about this shelf is the wall has studs in it, so you really have to screw it in certain places, and that's why I didn't want to use brackets, because my brackets would be limited to wherever there's a stud. But here I can just throw screws wherever there's a stud and attach this to the wall, and it's a nice clean install. So I'm going to go ahead and stain this up, and then add a little fun treatment to the front to keep the contents inside it. So I'm just raising the grain on this wood to give it a little bit more texture. Just got a damp sponge and I'm just putting some water on it.
Is this a job you can do as you're pregnant?
This is about the only part of finishing that I'm allowed to do. Every time I try to do something, Jacob's like, no, you can't do that. So.
This is what Hannah was thinking for it to hold like books in and stuff. So once that's on there, it'll be similar to that so that nothing can fall out of there.
So the first one goes right on the subway tile, right to the edge too, I think. Yeah, I think that looks good. Ooh, I really like that. Getting all kinds of giddy over here. One of the big issues is we don't have anywhere to store cups over here. For this one, I was thinking if we had something open, because we're right above a sink here, an open cabinet here, and then maybe something that's closed in over here so I can hide the coffee and the tea and the less attractive mugs over here. Jacob's gonna be really mad at me. I feel like I have to whisper, but I already started designing like how I'm gonna add a dishwasher drawer down here under the sink so that I don't have to spend the rest of my life walking across the kitchen to put dishes away. We drink a lot of coffee and we have a lot of people over, so it's a constant thing. The process would be get your coffee cup, drink your coffee, throw it in the dishwasher, and then put it directly away. So instead of bring it all the way across the kitchen, put it in the dishwasher, bring it all the way back across. Jacob's gonna come in. It's gonna be painful. This is all open.
And for those shelves, we got a 1x12, but it's 11
It'll be fine. Just
and a
like that.
quarter. So,
Yeah, that'll be totally fine. Micah got the cabinet done, so now we're just gonna paint it. Are we gonna have to cut around the HRV? No. You did grow up? So did you.
you want to know what onions taste like? Strawberries.
It's gonna be so nice hiding all that stuff.
You're gonna hide.
No, you're not.
How close was I?
So I was so much happier when we just got this cabinet up because I finally had somewhere to put our glasses and our drinkware away and all our coffees and teas. But it was kind of ugly because we have a lot of just less attractive stuff in this cabinet. So Jacob went down and built all the doors and got them painted and hung them, and what a huge transformation. The coffee bar area is just beautiful. It's one of my favorite spots to wake up to in the morning. What you got there?
Some bear sausage. I made some bear sausage last night. Had some meat left over from last year. So we wound up grinding it up and making some sausage. Bear meat's really good. I like it a lot. So got it all wrapped up, ready to go. So either breakfast, spaghetti, or kind of whatever. We're gonna add it to the freezer. So we try to eat moose and caribou and everything in our freezer is pretty much wild game that is around here. So. Yeah, and this is actually Grace's favorite bear sausage. It's really good, but it is her favorite, you know.
So we're still waiting on the knobs to come in the mail, but we're pretty much done with this cabinet, and it's very functional. It's added a ton to this kitchen. So I am loving how this kitchen is coming together, but there's still a few little tweaks that I want to do. I want to add the crown molding around the top and some molding around the bottom of the wall cabinets. This island, I'd like to paint it like maybe a dark gray, because on the stool side, it's getting scuffed pretty bad with where people kick it with their feet. So I was thinking something along there might help, and maybe dress it up with some bracing or something on the front. So we were just in such a hurry to get it done. I didn't have a time to really think about it and beautify it. So there's some things I want to do to the island. We're really thankful for this kitchen just how it is, and all these little minor tweaks, they can happen at some point down the road. So glad we took this week to just do some personal projects and make our heart of the home a little bit nicer.
Yeah, it's nice to see it all come together, all the little pieces, and actually be a finished product. That's what takes the real time, is when you have to finish the little stuff here and there, and but when it all comes together, it really is a nice finished product.
So we are going to have a very, very busy spring. My brother's cabin that we've been working on and off, he's coming back this spring, so we have to have that wrapped up. And obviously we're going to have a newborn happening pretty soon, so
it's going to be a little hectic here.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little hectic, but we want to make sure we're taking care of the children that we already have. We've been working a lot, so we're going to take next week off and take a little spring break trip with the kids, and just take a little breather before we get back to it and finish working on my brother's cabin, and then start changing diapers. So we're glad that we're able to take a quick break, and so we shall see you in 2 Mondays. So thank you so much for watching, and we shall see you then.
See you later.
Are you all packed and ready to go? We're just taking care of some last minute things before we get out of the house. We got a long trip. It's piggybacked onto a hockey trip, and we're definitely going somewhere warm.